Wolf, I got a problem. My kick and bass are clashing and lacking punch.
All right, don't worry. I've got you covered. I've got the perfect fix for your mix. Bass and kick are the two driving forces of most songs. They need to work together to give your mix that foundation and punch. But if they're clashing, that can throw everything off. Jump in with me and I'll show you how to make them punch without stepping on each other. Let's dive in. Hey, I'm Wolfie and welcome to ValleyWolf Studios. If you're a producer, musician, or someone who just loves building their own studio gear, you're in the right den. To crafting your own DIY gear to create the perfect studio vibe. I'm here to help you bring your sound alive without breaking the bank. Whether you're building your dream studio, fine-tuning your mix, or for that plugin, I got tutorials and loads of tips and behind-the-scenes builds to keep your creative fire burning. All with the touch of Wolfie flair, of course. Hit that subscribe button and join the pack. Let's build, mix, and create something wild together. So this is the song. There's a couple of plugins on here. You got the drums, the solo of the drums. It doesn't have all the drum mics going, but it still sounds pretty awesome. That's drums by himself. This isn't the bass by itself. If we go back to, we'll focus on just the kick. So we'll turn all these off. And we'll just listen to the kick. So this is just the kick into that, so you can see it's compressing up to about 2 dB. What we've got, let's turn all the plugins off all at once. That's original. So this is what the kick sounded like. So you've got this Neve preamp. So it's actually louder, so it's less gain. But see how more precise that sounds? Emulating a Neve console 1073 style. And then taking away this boxiness, so you push this boxiness up. It's like, it's got a kind of, so pull that back out. See how much more clear it gets? So this is just in, take it back out. Yeah. And then I love the high lift. Top shelf. You can push it right up there and get. A lot of metal songs have got like that. It just sounds so much nicer. And then we've got the 1176 LN, the blackface, the blackie. And so it's bringing out a little bit of quicker snap and that body. Hear that? In rock stuff, it really brings, the 1176 is such a aggressive compressor, but it's musical. It saturates it in such a way as it's pushing it that makes it sound really, really nice to your ears. I love this. And then we've got another one that sounds beautiful. This is a very common thing to do, but this is a LA3A. Very, very versatile, but it's got a very, very unique sound. So hear that? Like I'm compressing a little bit, taking off the little bit of the mix, so this has got a mix, so it's got a little bit more of the dry in there, but it's just day and night. And this is the gain reduction down to 3 to 4, but the output I'm smashing. Sounds great. And then it's going into a Pultec. You might wonder, well, why are you doing an EQ before and then EQ after? Because as it goes through these EQs, as it goes through these compressors, it'll change the tonality a little bit in a sense, but also this Pultec is a very, very unique EQ in the way it works. So you've got a boost and an attenuation at each point. You can change the attenuation selection on the top, and I believe the bandwidth is only for the top section. The bottom stays the same each time, but you can put your point of where you want to start for your low frequency. So off. Probably brought it back too much. This just gives it a bit more life, a little bit smoother. Take it right out, put it back in. Hear that? Like the room of it. you just tame that. So this is off. Put it on. Maybe a bit too much. It lets it breathe. So this is a good way to blend a sound because it's got top end and low end, and it kind of blends. Which the I think it's the Audioscape have got a new stereo one, which has got the mid frequency from the other Pultec. So subscribe to the page, and hopefully I'll get enough people on that I can start getting some gear reviews given to me. And then I've got this bad boy. So if we turn that on. And I do like making a low cut. Probably up a little bit more than that. Just get rid of that. You don't want to get rid of too low. Just taming up, see all down here. So all there. It's like tiny little bit, but it's unnecessary. So you can, and then I've just boosted around here. Yeah, just to get a little bit of that roomy. And then up here, this is where I like the beta around 2.2. Sounds like plasticky wood rather than plasticky cardboard. So around 4.4 is like plasticky cardboard. It's like a little clicky click. So around 2100 was that. Yeah, and pull it back down a little bit. That's all you need. So take it off. Put it on. It's just adding just that little bit of vibrance. We'll take it off. And remember, when I take this all these plugins off the kick, it's actually, on the meters it's louder, but it doesn't, our perceived loudness, we're not perceiving it as loud. So that's essentially louder. Put the plugins on. Yeah, it's coming up more. In Ableton, the way I do it, figured out, is you go make another track and you send it from audio from kick. You select kick and go post FX. So all these effects, everything goes to it. So post FX seems to have all the effects in, and post mixer, I don't understand why it wouldn't, but it seems like it doesn't. What I've done on this, I've sent all that to this, and I've just used the LA3A, but smashing it. Like if you imagine parallel lanes, like this is the main track and this is the other track, and you bring them next to each other. How strong you want this is depending on how much you do in the parallel. Like the attack kind of disappears, but it's still got the clicky click of that beta. Surprisingly, you put them together. Just take it out. Just makes it sound bigger and more up front. Skip the overhead, so then you've got your ambient close mic on this sense. So a lot of your drum sound comes from your room mics, but it adds character. It adds depth. Now, that's important to shape it the way that I've done, bring it into this one, which is the same thing. I've sent it post effects into here. I think it was their first plugin that they did, the Lockness, because I watched a video on it. I think it was Mixbus TV, I believe it may have been. And then I got it for about 18 Australian dollars, which is like 7 American dollars or something. From memory, it was emulation of the 1176. And right, and it's all these subtleties that add to the song. And then you've got, which I don't think I've even touched these. This is why it's important to, like, for drums, room mics are really important. Then you got that ambient far, which has got that real good low in there. So if you listen to everything together on the drums, if you take them out one by one, that's what we're left with. So we've done the drums, let's listen to what's going on with the bass. There's not as much going on with the bass, right? So I've got some gain reduction to try and match, so turn it off. It's relatively the same gain match. This is the sidechain thing, this is the intermediate thing again. So the sidechain is basically, it's taking information, audio information from one, it's taking the audio from the kick, or whatever you want it from. So I've sidechained it from the kick to the bass, right? And what I've done is every time the kick comes in, you can see it here, down here on this threshold thing here. On this green bar down here, on this part, down here. Alright, that's the kick. And then you can see the gain reduction. It's reducing 2.4, 2.12. Hear that? Because it's responding from the kick. Now it's pulsating. I've done a lot of sculpting here, so I pulled away to give room for that low end kick, taking away the main fundamental frequency of a kick. Because you don't want that to disappear, because that's how you can tell, especially in good speakers, where the kick is. With that snap, it gives it the weight. And I took it out, 49. And you're not going to miss that. 80 to 90 to 100 is really where the bass lives. Like, that's really the prominence of the low end of the bass is really there. Some people will argue that. So it's 200. Yeah. It's got all this weird stuff going on. Honky, honky. And then this, that's where the strings are. The higher you go, the more chances of you clashing with the guitar. So having it low like this is really good. Pushing up the 600 mark. And then you got 4.4. Nothing after 5 on a bass, even distorted bass, really is that important to me. Right? So you take that out. Take this whole EQ out. Put it back in. It's just got more bite. So listening to it all together. Now, sounding good. So this is the last real trick. So it's going into this. I've got the Master Bus SSL, beautiful. Just to tame it all together. Alright. If you want to copy these settings, a lot of the SSLs are very similar. The sound and the reaction, you can't compete with Universal Audio's compressors. Because I also have satellites, which run DSP, which I hear the difference because I've used back and forth. I hear, especially with the compressors. So what it's doing is it's taking about 2 dB out, but the attack is at 10. I like the 10 position. Some people really love that 30, but I think with aggressive stuff, you can really make it pump, and it's at 4 ratio, 4 to 1, 2 to 1. You can hear the difference massively. It doesn't push everything up as much. Because I've also got the sidechain filter to bring that kick in some more. Now, this is a trick that I learnt from Graham, I believe, from Recording Revolution. Yes, he is the first guy that I watched videos on 18 years ago. When he first started, before he was sponsored by Waves. Love his work. And I learnt this one from him. Thanks, Graham. Long time fan. I actually bought one of your first ebooks to learn how to mix. So we'll go, what we've got is you can hear, if you just solo the drums, which is the kick. Right? We're looking at the kick. See that? See that kick is going up to 0? We don't want that. We're going to bring that down. We want it to go to 3. I'll do another video on just this little trick. That's pretty good. Right? And then you do the same for the bass. Sit just a little high. Bass is staying relatively more because it's not as dynamic. Now together. See how when the kick goes, they go a little bit above 0 to 0. Of course, you got to do your pre-master or your master. What do you minus 5, minus 6 dB setting? I'm not going to go through that now. I'm just going through just this methodology of how to balance your kick and bass. But to me, that sounds awesome. Turn it up a bit. Just got a LA3A. But that's it. That's my tutorial. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Wolfie from ValleyWolf Studios. For all your tips and tricks, hit me up in the comments section if you've got some other ideas or you thought something was very interesting and you'd like to know a little bit more. This is from Husky Strutters from Canberra, Australia. Alright, Wolfie over and out.